you ever felt like you're pushing and pushing, but absolutely nothing is happening? Like you're climbing a mountain that somehow keeps getting taller the more effort you put in? Yeah, you're not broken, you're not failing, you're not even stuck. You're just in the middle of your story. And spoiler alert, the middle is where all the magic happens. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you're going to understand why you're actually way closer to your breakthrough than you think. Welcome back to Positivity Perks. If you're a parent trying to hold it together, a spouse carrying more than your fair share, or an entrepreneur chasing your next win, this is your moment. This video was made for the ones who keep showing up, even when it's hard. The midweek mentality. Let's talk about Wednesdays. No, seriously, Wednesdays get a bad rap. They're that awkward middle child of the week, too far from the excitement of Monday's fresh start, and not quite close enough to the relief of Friday. But here's the secret. Wednesdays are where the real growth happens. That midweek stretch, the one that feels slow, quiet, and even a little boring, that's where progress is being made behind the scenes. Success doesn't just show up in highlight reels and grand finales. It's earned in the small, steady decisions you make when no one's cheering. So if today feels mundane, repetitive, or painfully stuck, take a breath. You're not off track, you're just in the work zone. The myth of being stuck. Now let's address that heavy word, stuck. I feel stuck in my job. I feel stuck in this routine. I feel stuck in life. Sound familiar? We all say it, but what does stuck really mean? Here's what we've realized. Feeling stuck is usually just code for I'm not seeing the results I expected yet. And that word yet, that's the key. You're putting in effort. You're making changes. You're showing up. And maybe the results haven't caught up yet, but they will. Because motion, especially quiet, consistent motion, always leads to momentum. What people forget about success. You ever hear one of those overnight success stories and think, wow, must be nice? Yeah, same. But here's the deal. No one sees the years of persistence behind that overnight moment. Let me tell you about a real-world underdog, Soulright, this tiny, clean energy startup out of Germany. They spent 8 years being laughed out of meetings. Too idealistic, too experimental, too early. They didn't stop. They kept tweaking, failing, showing up. And in 2025, wow, they cracked the solar panel code. 30% efficiency increase. Now they're global news, billion-dollar valuations, and everyone wants a piece. That overnight success, it was 2,920 days in the making. What persistence really looks like. Persistence isn't flashy. It's not viral. It's not sexy. It's waking up early when you'd rather sleep in. It's working late while others binge watch. It's saying yes to your dream when everything else says quit. Persistence looks like moms making one more healthy meal. Dads going to work even when they're burned out. Entrepreneurs launching their 9th version of a product that still hasn't caught fire. It's choosing hope over and over again. And sometimes persistence looks like taking one more step, and you don't even know where the path leads yet. My own stuck moments. Let me get real with you for a second. During lockdown, I launched an e-commerce business. Zero experience, just a dream, and a credit card. The first few weeks, brutal. Everything broke. Nothing sold. Even my cat looked unimpressed. But I kept going. Why? Not because I had it all figured out, but because I believed something would click eventually. And it did. Not overnight, but slowly, quietly, one win at a time. Persistence didn't make me rich. It made me proud. And sometimes that's the bigger win. Signs you're closer than you think. Here's how you know you're not stuck. You're simply near the tipping point. You're tired but still showing up. You're frustrated but haven't quit. You're doubting, but deep down, you still care. That's not failure. That's growth. And it means something big is coming. Breakthroughs don't happen to people who never fall. They happen to people who fall and get back up. Life lessons from toddlers and treadmills. You Want a masterclass in persistence? Watch a toddler try to walk. They fall 100 times, laugh once, cry twice, and still get back up 101 times. No shame, no giving up, just pure, stubborn, courageous effort. Same goes for treadmills. You run, you sweat, nothing looks different until one day it does. Consistency always wins. 3 ways to push through the messy middle. Staying motivated in the beginning is easy. You've got fresh energy, a clear goal, maybe even a Pinterest board with quotes and color-coded dreams. But once you're in the middle, that long, drawn-out, quiet zone between starting and succeeding, it gets harder. This is where most people stop. Not you. Here are 3 powerful strategies that help me keep going, especially when the excitement fades and the doubts get louder. First micro goals, turn mountains into milestones. We all love to dream big, but staring at a massive goal can be paralyzing, like standing at the base of Mount Everest in flip-flops. That's why micro goals are everything. Instead of saying, I'm going to write a book, maybe say, I'm going to write 300 words today. That's 1 page. That's doable. If your goal is to lose weight, don't obsess over the 30 pounds. Focus on drinking 1 more glass of water today, or choosing veggies at lunch, or doing just 10 minutes of movement. Small wins are the bricks that build your foundation. And every time you meet a micro goal, your brain gets a little hit of dopamine. It tells you, hey, I can do this. That momentum builds quietly, powerfully, day by day. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, shrink the goal. What's 1 thing you can finish today? Just 1. Start there. 2. Accountability. Don't go it alone, even if you're a solo hero. We live in a culture that celebrates the lone wolf, the grind in silence, suffer alone type of hero. That's not sustainable, and honestly, it's not that effective. Accountability doesn't mean telling everyone your business. It means finding 1 person who's in your corner, someone who can say, hey, how's that goal coming along? And you'll know they mean it, not to shame you, but to support you. For me, I have a friend I text every Monday. I tell them what I'm aiming to do that week. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's small, and sometimes it's honest, like, I just want to survive the PTA meeting without losing my mind. Midweek, we check in. Even if it's messy, even if the only progress I made was choosing fruit over fries. Again, it counts. Having someone outside your own head keeps you grounded. It breaks the echo chamber of doubt. It reminds you that you're seen and your efforts matter. So whether it's a friend, a spouse, or even an online accountability group, lean into the power of community. Because self-growth isn't a solo sport. Midweek rewards. Celebrate survival, not just success. Here's something we forget way too often. You deserve to celebrate effort, not just outcomes. And if you're trudging through the middle of your journey, you need fuel. That's where midweek rewards come in. Now, I'm not talking about blowing your budget or eating an entire cheesecake, unless that's your love language, in which case, carry on. I'm talking about small, meaningful, sanity-saving joys you schedule on purpose to make the middle of your week feel like something to look forward to. Maybe it's a coffee from your favorite shop on Wednesday mornings. Maybe it's 30 minutes of guilt-free reading time after dinner. Maybe it's putting the kids to bed early and binging 1 episode of your favorite show with 0 interruptions and extra popcorn. Or maybe it's as simple as stepping outside and watching the sunset without your phone in your hand. Rewards are reminders. They remind you that your hard work matters. They remind your brain that effort leads to something good. And they help break up the monotony of the week, giving you the boost you need to keep going. Micro goals keep you moving. Accountability keeps you grounded. Rewards keep you energized. The middle may be messy, but you're not powerless in it. Use these tools, tweak them to fit your life, and watch what happens when you choose not to give up, even when it gets hard. Because people don't rise by being perfect. They rise by being persistent. When you associate consistency with kindness, you train yourself to stay in the game longer. So, set up your reward ritual. You've earned it, even if you're still in the middle. Remember, pushing through the messy middle isn't about superhuman strength or flawless willpower. It's about strategizing for survival. And sometimes, survival is the victory. So, if today you feel stuck, if you're doubting yourself, if you're wondering, why Why isn't this working? Let me leave you with this. You're not failing. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're just in the messy middle. And the middle is always messy before it's meaningful. Persistence is your superpower. Consistency is your edge. And that quiet daily effort, it's going to pay off in ways you can't even see yet. Don't quit 5 minutes before your breakthrough. If this video helped you, even a little, drop a comment below that says, "I'm still in it." Let me know what goal you're pushing through. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to Positivity Perks, and tap that notification bell so you never miss your daily boost of inspiration. Remember, you're not stuck. You're just getting ready to soar. Stay strong, stay positive, and never stop showing up.